from Hannah Cuts In. Hannah likes to keep her distance, to stand alone so she isn't really there. Then words start to act out. Hers take on a new life of their own, occupy space. Ignore her altogether. Forget her. Forget her. Beginning again, but with cuts, glues, and stitches that hold little resemblances up to society. Interruptions test these, interruptions test these, interruptions test these, interruptions. Pseudo voice. The typewriter keys denote the primordial sounds of happiness. Let's do it again. Let's. The Wall 2036 will discover the following regarding the band years: mourning, sickness, singing, the missing person, expressions of great feeling. 2037 will approach the word band as an object of fascination and terror, and will make a bargain with the future in declaring it an object worth remembering and knowing. 2038 will initiate the ban on banning. 2039 will ineffectively contest the ban on banning. 2040 will see fighting through the thin walls of 2039. 2041 will predict the walls are thinning. 2042 will declare the room is not a room, but that there was no causal relationships between the predicted thinning and the room being not one. 2042 will break down the details of the dispute to show that the room was a room, leaving the remains for the poets, the pots in the sink, the linings of truth, the sparrows, the dog-eared pages, the frozen, forgotten, the refusal of assimilation, the open arrangement after the door closed. Hannah. What year are we in? Those improvisers are not the futurologists, I had critiqued. Marion. In poetry, the gloom of their nothing hovers around the excitement of their something, yet I find myself embarrassed about the crisis of everything. Hannah offers Marion a wallet of dissidence, a sandwich of paraphrases, a cigarette lighter, or was it the other way round? Hannah thinks about what it means to be on the receiving end of such gifts, while Marion takes the whole thing as a kind of awkward compliment. People can be very enthusiastic, and I was probably too enthusiastic. Marion hunts and pecks out some doggerel by Widder-Binner she found reprinted in a memoir about collecting Japanese prints. I am thinking about Simone's doors. The clay forms are narrow and of unequal height, their tops lopsided, as if strafed by war or touched by time. War or time. The scaled doors become as musical and temporal as they are spatial and tactile. Musical and temporal, spatial and tactile, war and time, progression and procession. Silence in a psychosocial dynamic may encourage noise about X that covers up anxiety about Y. The verb, the reverb, and the verb. Hannah Arendt cuts in and changes things. Not being spoken as if one object, each subject, turns herself into another. The arrangement of no man's land, it was clear, was planned. The entire Arab world was to become no man's land. And it was the year 1961, and it was the year 2000 to something looming at the base of categories, which even the date 1948 doesn't quite fasten to each of us still living threaded through it. Let her explain.